Last year, Amazon generated over $187 billion in Q4 sales. That is nearly a third of platform's annual revenue in just one quarter. And this year, it looks like it's getting bigger and better. Categories like home and kitchen, apparel, electronics, and beauty are seeing anywhere from 30% to 70% surge in conversions. And if you plan well, Q4 can deliver up to 2x or 3x your usual sales velocity. But if you don't, you will see the opposite, or rising CPCs, wasted budgets, and missed sales when it could have been a great quarter for you. With new ad features rolling out and changes to Amazon search targeting systems, it's more important than ever to plan your ad strategy before the holiday events kick in. Hi, I am Avinash, co-founder of SellerMate.ai, and in this video, I will give you a complete Q4 Amazon PPC playbook, everything that you need to do to plan for your busiest shopping season of the year. So save this video for future reference and watch till the end to avoid last minute surprises or unwanted costs. Before we start, I will share a quick checklist of things that you should be doing in Q4 to get the most out of this quarter. I will attach a link to this blog as a part of this video description. You can go through the blog in detail at your own leisure. All right, let's get started. So what we want to do is find out what's already working for us and try to scale that. The second step would be to identify gaps about the things that we should have been doing but have not successfully managed to do. And then the last part would be how to catch the audience that you missed out on, even during the sales event. So let me first start with identifying things that are working for you already and scaling them. I will share my screen and I'll walk you through some of the things that you can be doing using SellerMate, but you can be using any tool or you can be using Amazon Ads Console to do any of these steps as well. First of all, we need to identify the products, keywords, search terms that are working well for us. So, in bulk actions in SellerMate, let's say I can start with ad products and identify ad products that have delivered results for us in, let's say, last 1 month or last 15 days, depending upon, how the volume that you have. If you are a high volume account or a seller, in that case, you can look at just last 1 month's data. But if you are just starting out or you have started out this year, don't have a lot of volume, then you may want to go back a little bit further to see where your traction lies. Using SellerMate, you can easily do that using simple filters like, let's say, if I can say, if any ASIN has given me more than 2 ad purchases, I want to focus a little bit more on that. I can select all of those ASINs and launch new campaigns. I want to do 1 ASIN per campaign because, I want to make sure that each of the ASIN gets a dedicated budget and I can control the visibility on keyword level as well. For example, I can pick I want only manual keyword. You can enter your specific keywords that are relevant for each ASIN, or you can add those later. Ideally, I want to separate out my broad, phrase, and exact matches. Broad I can use for more discovery campaigns. Phrase and exact maybe a little lower down the funnel. Using SellerMate, you can do it in one go. For example, I had selected 4 ASINs and I want to create 3 campaigns per ASIN, so total of 12 campaigns. But if you're using Amazon Ads Console, maybe you can use bulk sheets or maybe create 1 by 1 manually. The second step is going to be identifying keywords as well that have worked well for you, and when I say keywords, I mean both targets as well as search terms, and maybe focusing a little bit more where you have received a little bit more success. So let's say if I go to search term results in SellerMate, I can look at historical data. I can go back and check what are all the search terms that have given me decent result, and focus a little bit more on that. For example, this particular this particular keyword has given me some ad purchases. I may look at even one single ad purchase and why and designates if I have added that already or not. This is an product target. So you should be looking at both product target, keyword target, and category target. You can create your new campaigns from right here, or you can add it as a target to your existing campaigns as well from SellerMate. What I would also highly recommend is to go beyond the search terms and also look at your SQP report, because sometimes you find some important things that you might be missing out on. So, for example, I can sort by query volume. This is a view that we at SellerMate have created. You can get an ASIN level view or a brand level view in Amazon as well. And right here, for example, these are high volume search terms or keywords where I may be performing decently. You should look at that performance and rank at that at a keyword level. And if you like it, you can add it to specific campaigns from right here itself. So both search terms as well as a SQP report is absolute must for you. You should pick your best performing search queries and try to add them to different campaigns and different match types as well. Going back to even at a target level, what you should be doing is going back and checking if your best targets are receiving enough volume or not. So for example, you can look at top of search impression share. So this looks like a high volume keyword with a very low top of search impression share. I can say if my top of search impression share is, let's say, less than 5%. Again, this is something you have to decide based on what category you are part of. If it is a highly competitive category, 5% may be a lot, but if you are part of a very niche category, it might not be. And you can also say, anything that has given you more than 2 purchases, or let's say more than 1 purchase in last 15 days is a good one. There can be keyword targets or there can be auto targets right here. And you can select those and say, I want to increase my bids there. Right here. What this does is you're here rewarding anything that's working well for you, but something that you might be underbidding on. Based on this, you can identify targets, search terms, and new keywords that you should be targeting, or even if you're already targeting, maybe something that you should be doing more on. The next step is to look at what you should be doing in terms of automation, because Q4 is going to be incredibly busy for you. So you should try to figure out what all automations you can put in place. Specifically, what I would highly recommend is to put in place a couple of automations, especially around campaign budgeting. In SellerMate, what you can do is you can create an automation on top of live budget usage. For example, I can say if my live budget usage is more than 80%, and if it's a good campaign, meaning it has a cost less than, let's say, 25% for this account, again, a threshold that you can determine, you can say that I want to increase my budget by 10%. Now, remember, this is being done on top of live budget usage for the day. You can determine and say the time slots where you want to do that. Let's say you don't want to make add budget during morning hours. You can say, I want to do it only 3 times or 4 times a day, or maybe more, depending upon your use case. And what this would do is during the peak consumption days, you don't have to stay back and see if your campaigns are delivering or not. That process gets automated and it makes sure that your good campaigns stay in budget. You can do the similar thing for a keyword bidding rule as well. You can say if an ACOS of less than 30% is something that you desire and is good for you, and any good keyword that has, let's say, a click-through rate of more than 5% or more than 2% or more than 1%, depending upon the category, I want to increase the bids for such keywords. You can create an automation that makes sure, let's say, leading up to the event days, what it does is it increases your chances of getting that visibility that you desire for good keywords, for good targets. You can create a different strategy for your branded keywords and for your generic or competitor keywords as well. One of the critical additional aspects that you should be doing is looking at dayparting as well. In dayparting, so there are two levels. First is you can look at data. SellerMate provides you with data at an hourly level that you can look at, and based on that, you can create your own rules. So you can, during the peak season, if you can go back last year and see what was the usage pattern, if you have that sort of data at an hourly level, then that's very useful for you. However, you can take a proxy of any previous event days during the year and create your own bid departing rule that says, that allows you to increase your bids during the peak hours and reduce the bids during the hours when your conversion rates are low. You can also make use of Dayparting calculator that SellerMate has. Additionally, you can also place your budget rules so that your budget is spent around times when you want it to do the most. For example, you can start by pausing or enabling the campaigns, or you can start by increasing budgets or decreasing budgets at different times of the day based on whether you want to spend more during those hours or not. This was about bids and budget. Now, even on top of that, you can additionally also look at your visibility. Now, a huge part of that comes from your placements. So, in placements, what we highly recommend is making sure that your top of search boost is in place. So, you can specifically go to top of search boost saying, maybe, only for top of search, I want to make sure that my top of search boost is set to a certain amount. So it can be set to 100% or it can be set to 50%, or you can have a different set of rules for different set of campaigns based on your own strategy. But making sure that top of search boost is present ensures that even if you are bidding lower to control your ACOS, you are not missing out on critical placements that you can be getting, and hence getting a little bit more conversion compared to what you're getting now. What I would also recommend is having brand video ads in place. If you are using DSP, then you should be running your awareness campaigns. But even if you're not using DSP, let's say you don't have enough budget to be running DSP, I would highly still recommend to run your SDV campaigns to make sure that customers are aware of your offering. And you can definitely make a use of AMC audiences to make sure you reach new to brand customers who are shopping in the areas or categories that are highly relevant to you. What about the spread of your spending? For that, what we highly recommend is to keep a track of what type of targets are you spending on. So in SellerMate, you can tag your keywords or you can tag your ASINs to make sure and see if you can keep a track of types of spending you do. You see an automated breakdown by, let's say, placement type or by ad type. And you can also see breakdown by match type as well. But at the same time, what you also do is you can create product tags to keep a track whether you have certain inventory more for a certain product line, and to keep a track of that, you want to be spending more on that product line. So in that case, what you can do is you can go ahead, create your own tags and see a division by those product tags. You can similarly do this exercise for your targeting tags. For example, what we highly recommend is having a set of tags associated with keywords for your branded keywords, for your generic keywords, and for your competitor keywords. And then if you're testing it out, you can always say, these are my test keywords that I'm testing on, so that you create your own cohort which you are testing them out. You can do the same thing at a campaign tag level as well. What this does is it ensures that you are able to keep a track of specific experiments that you are running, while making sure that you identify the strategy that scales the most. For example, in this case, if I can see, for example, competitor uh, keywords or targets work the best for me, so maybe that's one thing that I should be focusing a little bit more on. I would highly recommend running these defensive campaigns, offensive campaigns, based on the result of the experiments that you can start right now. Fifth, and one of the most important things that you should be doing, is making sure that you have your inventory in place. If you are running an apparel brand or a fashion brand that has thousands of ASINs, what I would recommend is running a simple automation on inventory. The automation can simply look like, if my days in an inventory is below a certain number, let's say below 20 days, when your replenishment time is more than 30 days, then you can pause the product from advertising and then re-enable once your inventory is in place. This ensures that your ad spend goes to the ASINs that can sell the most without getting stocked out. Similarly, you can set in place alerts to make sure that you know when you are about to get out of stock in certain ASINs for the inventory. You can also keep a track of inventory reports within SellerMate as well. Otherwise, you can go to Amazon Ads Portal, keep checking your inventory report, your FBA or FBM, whatever you are following, and make sure that you are stocked up for upcoming season, and don't get out of stock in inventory in your FBA warehouses or FBM warehouses while you are running ads. You are going to spend money on ASINs that could have sold themselves out organically, whereas the ad spend could have been managed on other ASINs. Now that you have spent all this time and effort crafting the right strategy for your PPC, what about the people that you still miss out on? Sometimes there will be folks that have added your product to cart but have not purchased, or sometimes people may have seen your product page but not bought. I would recommend running SD and retargeting campaigns, remarketing campaigns from DSP as well, or from display ads, to target all the customers or prospects who have interacted with your page on Amazon, and make sure that you target them once again, maybe add a coupon later on to get through your remaining inventory even after the holiday season, while making sure you hit your sales numbers. So these retargeting or remarketing campaigns should be run throughout the event cycle, as well as after the events are over, if you have remaining stock available in the Amazon warehouses or within your own warehouses. This makes sure that you get the most out of every penny that you have spent on Amazon ads, as well as all the effort that you have put in to make sure that your products show up on top organically or using ads. So let's recap. Start by identifying your growth ASINs. Scale what's working with your budget automation. Identify search terms from your search term report or from SQP report, and make sure that you are adding good search terms to the targets or creating new campaigns for them if you have not done that already. Maximize visibility with top of search and SBV ads. Retarget, re-engage warm audiences. Defend your listings and keep ads aligned with stock. Keep a track separately for your brand targets, for your competitor targets, for your generic targets. Every single one of these moves keeps your ads aligned and these compound on top of each other. So before the next event kicks in, log into SellerMate.ai, run your Q4 automation checks, run your Q4 reporting checks, and all the bulk actions that we have prescribed. Make sure that this is your most profitable quarter yet. Thank you for watching.